welcome. And I was just plugging myself in so don't short circuit. Like, come on your spiritual awakening path. And I just looked at the clock. I could feel the reading coming through. I was just sat downstairs. It's my birthday today, so I've just been having real nice relaxing morning in the hot tub and bit of R&R, you know, bit of me time and just resting and pamper and yeah. And then I sat down and I'm reading. I could feel the reading coming through, and it's 1:44 on the clock. Let me have a look. Yeah, it was 1:44 on the clock. Say that, wouldn't you? Yeah. You just can't make this stuff up. I've also just been listening to another reader who I've followed for many years, and she's just not validated, because I don't need validation anymore. I'm past the validation point. No, don't need anyone to validate my path. Like my roses, I'm all about the roses. And my beautiful friend Chrissy brought me them, and also showing me dragon. Also my dragon, Teddy. And just the other day, I was just thinking, do you know, I haven't got a dragon. Anything from my home. I've got a picture of the dragon. I've got dragon tarot cards, but I've not actually got like an item, you know, that I've bought or somebody's bought for me. And then this turned up. It's as if it just flew into me. So that in a world, you know, I was thinking it. It created my outer world. How cute. Also, heart chakra colour, you know. And this path, spiritual awakening, the rose path. It's all about the heart. Can't do anything without the heart. So, yeah, this is my first teddy I have had since I was a child. Remember those glow worms that we used to have? I don't know if you ever had one or not, but that was my my all-time favourite, you know. And also this little doll, they had like rosy cheeks, and you used to squeeze its belly. And the tiny tears dolls as well. But I feel like I've, you know, going back to me inner child, and on this path, you do also. I want you to find your inner child, because from that inner child, you create. You know, so in a child's mind and child's eyes, they're innocent, aren't they? So you create from that innocence, from the heart. You know, you've not been tainted at that point. So I found me in a child. I've got a teddy. So I'm really chuffed for that, as you can tell. I'm obviously very over the moon with my roses, because if you follow me, you'll know I'm rose mad. I'm on the rose path. I won't say I've left the rose path, because I will never leave the rose path. Even when you become that fully bloomed rose, which my spirit team are saying I am now fully bloomed, and I've also been crowned my crown of roses. So this is a multidimensional picture that Christine Singleton, so the friend that brought me my roses, wrote through for me. So this is me. This is an aspect of me. It's got Kuan Yin and it's got Mother Mary aspects also with the green. That's the Kuan Yin. And it was I think there's a video on here when she channeled it, and we'd just done a beautiful meditation for the higher heart, and we was in that zone, you know. We was in that yeah, we was in that complete stillness where we could just be ourselves, you know, because when you are awake, when you are on your spiritual awakening, you feel there's times on this journey you cannot be yourself because the world's going to judge, and they do, because the world's not used to that, you know. I wasn't used to it, but my rose petal path made me get used to it. Because when you're on the path, the rose petal path, and you're unfurling your petals, so you're working through your traumas, your wounds, your ancestral wounds, all of that. You get used to it. You have no choice. You have to get used to it. It's a path. I mean, I can't speak for others, but once I started spiritually awake, and yes, I put resistance up at first, and I'll let others put resistance up for me. So my children, my partner, if you follow me, you'll know that I'm twin flame, but I don't label myself that. It's just another soul connection. And I let others tell me what I was going through, what I was experiencing, all of that. I knew better, you know, because I knew exactly what I was experiencing. I knew that I was a channel. I knew I was a clear conduit for spirit to channel through me. But I still had some of those petals to unfurl. I still had some more blooming to do before I could fully stand in all my power and knowing that this is my path. It's not yours. You know, not yours, but you know what I mean. It's my path. It's my soul path. So it's solely for me to know. And this path also is for you to know and to help others with what you know. So you do have to come out of the spiritual closet one day, you know. And I didn't think, well, I did, because I could see that was getting me prepared, you know, all these initiations and all these tests and what you go through on your spiritual awakening path. You know you're not going through that just so spirit can touch you, because the twin flame journey, can't speak for anybody else's, but my journey has been hell on earth, and that is an understatement, because I've had seen, I've had unseen coming at me. I've had my family, my friends calling me crazy, witch. Well, not witch, but yeah, I have been called a witch. But you know what? Proud to be a witch, because a witch is only a spiritually awake person. And I say person because it can be the male as well, you know. It's not gender specific, it's the energies inside us. So yeah, I am a witch, and I'm letting my witch play, and I am a child also. So the resistance, I was letting others put that resistance up for me. And I knew better. My soul knew better. It's a spiritual awakening. It's a different level. It hits you at every angle. You're emotionally, physical, your mental, your spiritual. It adds to it at every angle. So, you know, like that diamond being forged through heat and pressure. Those fractals. A diamond shines bright, doesn't it? So that song, Rihanna, shine bright like a diamond. Yeah, I've had many souls coming through since I woke up, like a human bloody jukebox. I just download one and then in goes another. Yes, that's the gifts that return. That's the divine feminine. That's the clairs. That's the connection to source. That's what's retained through the rose petal path, through the love that I showed myself. So, you know, roses, the start off dirty with a bud, and then start to unfurl. Yes, you have ferns also on the rose. So there's thorns. So they're your emotional boundaries that you learn along the way. You learn a lot on this path. And I learned that the thorns was serving me a purpose. They was teaching me lessons that I had to learn, so emotional boundaries. So this is why I'm on, because I just did a post earlier, because my codes was coming down. So if you know me, my codes and all of that come through. Speak ancient soul language, my original language. Starting to speak it a little bit more than, you know, what I've been taught to speak, but that's DNA. That's me fully coming into my fully bloomed version. That's me being my authentic self without worry of judgment or projections. But no, I'm not about to go to Asda and go speak in this ancient soul language to the person, you know, who's serving me. No, because I know, well, it would shock the out of them, because it did me. So others judging and projecting their shock onto me. Well, I was in shock myself when my ancient soul language started to come through, when my clairs started to come through, when I started to receive more and more and more of my gifts, my spiritual soul essence started to come through. I was in shock. So to deal with others' shock and that projection because of their shock, and that is all it is. It's insecurity and it's fear. Now, I've dealt with my fear. I've faced my fear. I wouldn't be speaking about this journey, my story, if I had not. Because I would still be locked in that fear, you know. I would be like, nobody wants to hear me. Why would anyone want to hear me? They'll think I'm lying and all that. No, past that point. You know, past that point of no return. What's that off? Past the point of no return. I can see the film, but can't. Yeah. So I was just sat on the sofa and just relaxing. And my son messaged me about this video that I just posted. Now, I was actually wondering whether to post it. So in messaging me saying, what is that, man? Like, you know, because he's not he's seen some of my posts. He doesn't watch them all the time and all that lot, because he's still got that resistance up. He's still judging, and for no fault of his own, he's still in the fear, and he's got his path to work. He's got his petals to unfurl. And he says to me, I will never wake up. I will ever, you know, all that. Yeah, that resistance is there. And I was like, okay, son, well, if that is your path, then you will never wake up then, you know. But you could possibly wake up also. Just because you put that resistance up does not mean to say you can't wake up. I put a resistance up for a long, long time. But my predestined path that was written in the stars a long time ago, that soul contract, I was always going to wake up. I was always going to wake others up. I was always going to show others the rose petal path. That's my predestined path. To talk about the path that I have walked and for just for the right to be free, you know. I've got that song. We gotta fight for the right to party. Well, I won't say it's a party. I've had better parties than a spiritual awakening. No, the right to be free. Everyone has that right. We all have that right. Not one of us belongs to another. Yes, we have partners. Yes, we go through life co-creating, you know, partners and things like that. But at the heart, at the core, at the essence of us, we're free. That's another thing, you know. I came up against the resistance for fighting for my freedom, my voice, which is rightfully mine. Always has been mine. It's just been hidden and for the fear, you know. So yeah, I hit the point of no return, and I was not going to be silenced. I was not going to be told what to do. I was not going to be told what, you know, I could speak of. No, because you get to a point on this journey where you know that you need to speak about it, because you're here to help others find this rose petal path. The rose, you know, you might think, this lady's rose mad. I am. Yeah, I love roses. I always love roses, but I never actually truly got the full meaning of the rose until my spiritual awakening. Now I know the full meaning of the rose, and you know, I'm still unfailing also. So although I am further down the path of my awakening, and I know a lot more than what I did 8 years ago, and I know the true meaning of a spiritual awakening, the true meaning, a twin flame awakening, I know that it is now and always has been about me, and that's not coming from an ego place. No, it's about that love that you give to yourself, finding that love inside yourself, and then you can give that to others, truly, from an authentic place, from that sacred heart. Didn't know we had 2 hearts, neither. We have. We've got physical and we've got a spiritual. So it's about them two coming into union and finding that wholeness inside yourself. So part of this path is the resistance that you will come up against, and there will be many. many. And it's going to be from people you love. Just getting back to the story where my son said, don't know about that one, Mum, like that. And I was like, well, it's art, son. It's coming from my DNA. It's codes that are inside of me. And, you know, we all have shadow and we all have light. So I can't always be angelic, you know. No, some codes will come out where they're, you know, a bit more harsher, but not harsh from, like, you know, a harsh place, no. But yeah, I would say that these codes they weren't harsh. There was just about this song that's been coming through to me. So I'll get to the song. So I did a reading on it. I think it was yesterday. Yeah, and I know when these readings are done, you know. So when I get the download, I know if those messages are fully downloaded, or if there is some more. So if it's going to be part 1 or part 2 and continuing. And this song keeps coming through. And also my son has just dropped that on me, that resistance. I had to come online and talk about it. They wanted me to talk about the resistance we come up against on the rose petal path. And this song, yeah, bring me to life, wake me up inside, call my name and save me from the dark. So I was doing the codes, and you know, I just thought, well, I could choose something completely in the dark, or can I have colour coming through that dark, you know, so, because although you're in the dark, you know there's colour there, you know there's light inside of you. So that's what I did. And I was up against resistance from my son, who was like, don't look right, Mum, you know. And I was like, well, it's not your place to tell me it don't look right. So, and they're not your codes, you know. I've done the work, and that's the codes that came through, and that's the message, you know, that although we're in the dark on the spiritual awakening path, and it's very, very lonely, isolating, it's the death and the rebirth. I can't speak for others, but mine was a Kundalini, a death and a rebirth, dark night of the souls. So you can have one, more than one. Yeah, I was in the dark. I was isolated. I was lonely. I was wondering what was going on. What you know, but I also knew what was going on somewhere inside. You know that you're not going through all this pain for nothing. You're not unfurling. You know, these rose petals, so the trauma, the wounds, the pain, the emotional, but you're not the physical. We go through physical pain also, because the emotional body is connected to the physical. So you're moving emotions out of your body, but not just for you. Well, I can't speak for anyone else, but for me, it was my ancestors also. So, and if you're a twin flame, you also feel their pain. So you're just like, it's spinning. And yeah, in that dark, you know that there's so much light and colour inside you. So that's all I was bringing across. But because of my son's fear and his insecurities, and he's not walked my path, it was a bit like, I don't know about that one, Mum. But it's not for anyone to say, you know, it's your path, it's your soul path, your unique soul path. And no one has the right to tell you what you're hearing, what you're feeling, what you're seeing, whatever your gifts are. Nobody has that right to say to you. You can't speak truth, you know. Yeah, this song, bid my blood to run before, come undone, save me from the nothing I've become, bring me back to life. Yeah, you feel like in that dark night, before my spiritual awakening, I felt I was nothing. Now, that's not coming from, oh, pity me place or anything like that. No, it was just coming from the stuff that had happened to me. Because we all go through things in life, don't we? And fighting a chronic illness for many, many years. And we all come up against our own fights, don't we? Every one of us, not one of us get out unscarred, I don't think. But in that, pain, you know that there's also light. So you know that you're going to be merging out, you know, when you're in that dark night of the soul. You know that it's for a reason, because it's that painful and intense, and it's like nothing I've ever experienced before in my life. I would not like to go back into one. And I know I would survive it, because I've unfurled my petals, and I know a lot more now, 8 years down the line, than I did then. And I survived it then. I wouldn't be here talking about it if I'd not survived the dark night of the soul. But you know, inside that dark place of your psyche, you know, it takes you there. You question everything. The life prior to this awakening, you question everybody, everything. You know, you start seeing through things that you never used to see through. Everything gets brought down to be rebuilt. And that's your rose petal path. One by one, these rose petals start to unfurl, and you start to heal the wounds, the traumas. You start to put up emotional boundaries, you know, the thorns. Yeah, you start to work through it, just bit by bit. And yeah, you start to come back to life. It says here, bring me back to life. And you start to wake up. Yeah, fully wake up, you know, not letting others hold that resistance up to you and say, no, you can't wake up. Because if you wake up, then I don't have your energy anymore. And I know now why others didn't want me to wake up. Because they siphon your energy, and it's not coming from a nasty place or anything like that. It's just that like being used to you being that person and being there, and not questioning and opinions, and standing up for yourself, and all of that. And then that all changes, you know. Well, it did with me. I I've got opinions. I will stand up for myself. Those thorns, if I need to use them, I will. That's emotional boundaries. I never used to have that. But I won't hate another. I won't go out deliberately hating another like others did me. Because that's just not who I am. I've always been destined to unfurl my petals and heal and understand. You know, we all have shadow and light. Not one of us is perfect. We all have shadow and light. But understand the true meaning of the shadow and light. And we don't get rid of one or the other. So when others have put up resistance and projections and judgments about my light, because light's bright, isn't it? So it's like that diamond, going back to the diamond. You start to shine a little bit too bright. And you start shining your light on others' shadows. And they're like, blinded by the light. You know that song? Yeah, I can see like 2 headlights, you know, in the car now. That's my Claire's. And yeah, you can send others off a bit, you know, when you flash your headlights a bit too, they can lose a bit of yeah, you can unbalance them, you know, you can swerve them off the road, can't you, if you flash them lights too bright. Yeah, I became too bright, and I reflect back at others what they need to heal and look inside themselves because of the work I've done on me, you know. So I got that light shone at me, and I did the same for my twin. And that's where you just like, and then you like, can't go near the light, can't go near the light, it's too bright. But then you're like, but I can't stay away from the light neither. I really miss the light. No, can't, I've got to go into my shadows. Like, and that's just too much, you know. So that's where the twins come into that repel and you know, separation and all of that. That's what happens there. And that's what can happen with your family and friends too also. You can just shine too bright and they're not ready for it. And it's no fault of their own. It's just that they're not ready for your light. It's what you hold. And what you find inside you, you know. And you just keep getting brighter and brighter. And that can really blind others, you know. They're like, what's she on about now? What ancient soul language is she talking now? Where's that come from? So you keep leveling up and more gifts. And just this morning, talking about more gifts returning. Now I don't know if this is just a one-off because I've not tested it again and it's not happened again. But my partner was stood opposite me. I was in the hot tub. I call it my hot tub time machine because they always go into a deep stillness in it because it's that relaxing, and then downloads and it's water, you know. So water holds memory and frequency, and I love water. You know, I spend half my life in water. I love my baths, my salt baths. Very, very good for you, especially this time what we're going through. Because I believe we are in the in between. I feel like I'm in the in between. I can't speak for others on my journey. Where I am on my journey is I feel these eclipses, so we're going from one to, we're in the in-between. So I know there's a new beginning coming, but there's an ending and a new beginning, but I'm in the in between. Can't speak. Eko soto oshono no ayamaseko oya ea sekoto a ish ono no mana. Yeah, when I can't speak these days, I know I'm meant to speak my original language. And that's me, you know, not putting up no resistance, not letting others judge me, not letting others project me, because I know that this path is what I'm supposed to be talking about and helping others. And that in between that I'm feeling is me going from one part of my journey to the other, that elevation, you know. And yes, just this morning, I saw my partner's aura. So I've started to see auras now, I think. And the resistance that I come up against was, well, it's rather sunny out here. I was like, I know when I am seeing an aura. I've never seen one before, but you know, I've read enough books because I am a bookworm. I love books, knowledge, sacred knowledge. These books that are out there, there's codes in them, there's messages in them for us. Just the other day, I received a big download from a book. Just a few lines, and it was like, whew, it's like a download, and it was instant, and it went straight to my DNA. So you watching me on here, I'll be like a download for you, and I'll go straight to your DNA. Now that's not from ego. That's because I hold this inside of me, inside my DNA. I hold ancient soul codes. We all do. But I've woke up, you know, so I've been brought back to life. And these codes have been brought back to life with me. So I know that the what I speak, even speaking in this communication, so our language that we know on earth, I know that my voice holds a certain frequency that pierce, you know, they've told me that. But the codes that I bring through, yes, I know that they then pierce to the heart, to the soul, to the DNA. So, yeah, I was up against resistance with my partner. But, you know, there's getting less and less because I have put up my thorns, you know, on that rose, and I've put on my emotional boundaries. And I won't let anyone tell me that I have not been through what I have been through on this path. And people who are having a spiritual awakening, or they are at the later stages of the journey, they'll understand why. I won't let anyone tell me what my soul path is, because you go through it. You and you alone know what you are going through. And yes, other people that are spiritually awake can relate. We can relate. That's why when I found others to help me at the beginning stages of my journey, I was just learning, you know. I was just like, what's happening? What is going on? Going through all the tests and the initiations and going up against the projections, the judgments. Yeah, that's all part of it, you know. To move to it strengthens you. Strengthens you that strong, you know, that foundation that you build. So the old foundation crumbles, but you build such a steady foundation. It's getting you ready, you know. And I keep getting told from my spirit guides, it's getting ready for the big show. So, yes, I have the greatest showman in my visual, but not the showman. So all the light workers getting ready, and that's what we've been getting ready for, you know. With all the preparation and all the initiations and the tests that we have had to go through, and all the projections and the judgments and all of that, it's been getting us ready for this new golden age. To show others, come on, come with us. You can do it as well. You don't have to get left behind. That was also another download I received a few years ago. Some will stay behind and some will follow. And the light workers, the light seeds and the twin flames was ones that had to go ahead. And there's been many awake since they got here to Earth, you know, and they've been doing the work behind the scenes for years. A lot longer than me. I've been doing it for 8 years, but I know many. So my mentors that I follow and learn from and all of that. Yeah, it's been getting us all prepared for this new golden age, new earth. So yes, some will follow, some will stay behind and some will follow. So that's the split. That's the split in consciousness, not the split in two earths. So you might have had two earths. Not the physical, no, the consciousness. So that lower, denser energy of the matrix, the ones that put up the resistance. So like my son, he possibly could get left behind, but can't see it, you know, because he lives with me. And one of my multidimensional gifts is I awake people. So if you found this, you're possibly going to be awake after it. And it's your time, you know, to wake up, bring you back to life. So no, my other son, yes, he's very awake, he's very on his path. He's got a big mission here also, I know that. I've always called him an old soul. And he's definitely going to do something in this lifetime with his path, you know. Can't say if it's his last lifetime, but I know it is mine. I'm an ancient soul. May have heard 144. That's just a number, you know. I chose this. I chose to come here to help Earth's ascension. Because it was destructing, and that was also another message I got from Mother Gaia, and it was in the same message. As some will fall, will get left behind, and some will follow. Mother Gaia came through, and she showed me that she was lifting the earth up with her hands. It's time, because there would be nothing left of the earth. So the light workers, the light seeds, the twin flames, the ones that have been doing it for many years since getting here, they've been holding the earth from behind the scenes. Now it's time to be seen. You know, and that's why you've probably been bombarded with us all on TikTok and YouTube, and you're like, how many of them is there? We chose this. That's what say the chosen. You might have heard of that. That's just the label. We chose to come here. But when we got here, the lower matrix, shall we say, has been trying to stop us. So I know that I've been targeted from getting here. Know that. That's since waking up and me coming back to life. I know that. But yeah, so Mother Gaia now is time. Earth. And not just on Earth. No, the galaxy, the universe, galactic, spiritual warfare, and the dragons, the angels, the ascended masters, ancestors, the fairies, all of that, as whimsical as it sounds, are all coming together. That's why we're remembering more and more and more, because we're doing the work. We've done the work, and we needed to remember who we truly are, and so much more than what they've told us. But the time is now for the rose to bloom, to get blooming. But yeah, so I love my roses. Yeah, the rose, you know, it's so much more than what we think it is. So it's 40 minutes, and my video is so much longer out there than the usual, but yeah, I'm going to leave it there, and unless they come through again with the song, I think that's the end of this reading, hopefully. So yeah, don't need no cards to channel. No, because channeling comes through many forms. So automatic writing, that wasn't another thing that crept up on me, and I was like, instead of channeling the normal way I was doing, I was reaching for my pen, and they've had me writing, and I know why, because I can see a timeline in the future that's coming to do with why. Getting me ready. It's all preparation. I'm still in preparation. Still in those stages of I am the master, yes. They said to me, the student has now become the master, but you're always the student. So I'm still preparation, still learning, still for my next stage, you know. So I feel like I'm in the in between. So yeah, I can see Stranger Things now. You know, he was lots beyond the thing, weren't they? Yeah, the in between. So if you feel like you're in the in between, I've posted a Violet Flame video on here. I did it a long time ago, but Spirit's coming through this morning saying to repost it, and the Violet Flame is very powerful at this time for us all, you know. It's a very powerful flame that can help us get through these eclipses. So catch that video. There's curtain and healing. So I'm going to end it now, and I think I'll come back on because I feel like there's a reading coming through. Can you guess what it is?